What's up, Heads Up SA fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a fiery speech given by the President Cyril Ramaphosa at the OR Tambo Memorial Lecture, where he acknowledged that the ANC itself is its worst enemy. Let's get into the details, the controversies, and the question we've been wanting to ask. Could the ANC ever accept a white president? So stick around, because we are about to break it all down for you. In a rare moment, President Ramaphosa admitted something critics have said for years. The ANC's biggest challenges are right within the party itself. He talked about corruption, arrogance, and the role of elites and careerists who are putting personal gain above the people.
From divide and rule under a new guise that has seen the splintering of our movement, both in the earliest days of democracy and in recent times, we would be dishonest if we did not acknowledge that in many respects we have become our own worst enemy though.
Now, you would think this was a moment of humility, but here is where it gets complicated. Is the president himself an elite in the ANC? Let's be honest, many ANC members consider him just that, and his track record isn't exactly scandal-free. So, was this just another political show, or was he genuinely speaking from the heart?
President Ramaphosa, he's interesting.
Cyril Ramaphosa represents an exiting ANC that has an interest in the now. Remember, Cyril is going to exit the presidency of the ANC a year to 18 months before the end of the term of the GNU government. Someone is going to be in charge of the ANC before the end of the life of this current GNU government.
Ramaphosa went on to talk about revolutionary morality, essentially laying out basic principles that leaders should live by. Interestingly, this echoes what former President Thabo Mbeki recently said about corrupt practices in municipalities, where ANC candidates who lack genuine commitment to the people are put in office simply because they are popular or wealthy.
It's expressed in the arrangements about how local government should function. That became our presentation during the negotiations. To give expression to this notion, the people shall govern. Now, in that context, you can't say, let the people elect these councillors. And having elected them, me as the ANC, I'm free to remove them. And not allow the people to replace them.
Who are the people who fill our ranks and occupy positions of leadership? Are they detachments of OR Tambo, loyalists to our movement and adherents to the ANC's founding principles? Or are they just careerists, factionalists? Or are they just people who want positions to line their own pockets and advance their own interests? We have to have revolutionary morality. Revolutionary morality means selflessness, it means self-sacrifice, it means also being principled and ethical in all our affairs. It means being humble, not being arrogant.
Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Ramaphosa's speech seemed like a subtle clapback to Solima Paila and Nehau's chairperson, who have been very vocal about the so-called neoliberal faction within the ANC. They've claimed that this fiction, with Ramaphosa at the helm, is responsible for the creation of the Government of National Unity, or GNU, which includes the partnerships parties like the DA and the Freedom Front.
In the ANC, there's always been a neoliberal faction, which is the dominant faction today. So it's a class battle to push that neoliberal faction inside the African National Congress, because its orientation will always go towards the DA. That is why the murmurings, even during the campaign, was that there's negotiations between the ANC and the DA.
We must be forever vigilant that some amongst us are using the cover of unity as an excuse to try to get away with a whole range of dishonest actions. As the ANC, we must be clear that unity is not a catch-all phrase. As OR himself asked, where does unity begin and where does it end? Unity begins when we coalesce around a common set of values and principles that define the character and the mission of the ANC. Unity cannot extend to those who repudiate or act against the values of the ANC.
For some, this GNU represents a betrayal, with accusations flying that Ramaphosa is cozied up with the old apartheid beneficiaries. So when he says the ANC is tackling neoliberalism, we can't help but wonder, is he distancing himself from his own faction? Or is this just a clever way to dodge the issue? Ramaphosa also raised a big topic, calling for non-racialism within the ANC's leadership ranks. He argued that just as during apartheid, the ANC needs leaders of all races who are committed to the cause. But there's a million-dollar question: is the ANC ready for a white president? This is a point that could easily be seen as controversial. For some, it's a positive move towards genuine non-racialism. For others, especially those who feel the ANC should prioritize black South Africans' needs, this could be the final straw that confirms fears of capitalist infiltration. Let us know in the comments, do you think the ANC could ever fully embrace a white leader, or would this feel like a betrayal?
Rebuilding the ANC from the ground up into the mighty vehicle of liberation that OR Tambo envisaged means restoring the non-racial character of our movement. OR Tambo was determined that the ANC should be a truly non-racial organization, and that this should reflect in its membership and its support. And this, comrades, is what we need to do to ensure that the ANC becomes once more attractive to all the people of South Africa. We must, as a movement, ask ourselves, what are we doing to attract South Africans of all races to the ANC who identify with our mission?
So what do you think of Ramaphosa's speech? Was this a genuine call for change, or a carefully crafted attempt to dodge some of the hard truths critics are pointing out? And do you think the ANC could actually reform in a way that represents everyone equally? As always, we'll keep bringing you the inside scoop on South African politics. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button, like the video if you found it insightful, and don't forget to share it with your friends. Until next time, heads up SA fam. Stay informed, stay curious, and stay tuned.